Day 305 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem. This time we're at day 305 and we're still going strong doing daily LeetCode problems. Today we have question number 119, Pascal's triangle 2. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go in and check out that link in the description and get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Question says, given an integer array row index, return the row index, zero indexed row of the Pascal's triangle. In Pascal's triangle, each number is the sum of the two numbers directly above it. All right, y'all. So now that we've read the question, let's go ahead and take a look at these examples. If you've been following along with this channel, then you know we did Pascal's triangle 1 yesterday, where we had to find each row, or we had to find the elements of each row in the Pascal's triangle. This time, they're going to give us a particular row that they want us to find, and we only have to return the elements of that row. So let's go ahead and look at example 1 to make sure that we're doing it correctly. So in example 1, the input row index equals 3. The output is 1, 3, 3, 1. Now, as you can see in the Pascal's triangle, each element is the sum of the two numbers directly above it, right? So we're going to start with 1, then directly above these two ones, then we're going to come down, right? And it's 0 plus 1, so we put a 1 here. Then it'd be 1 plus 0, we put a 1 here. Boom. Then we come down to the next row. It would be 0 plus 1, so we put a 1 here. Then it'd be 1 plus 1, so a 2 would come here. Then it'd be 1 plus 0, and we put a 1 here. Same thing for this row. It'd be 0 plus 1, so we put a 1 right here. Then we do 1 plus 2. This would be a 2, so that gives us 3 right here. Boom. Then we do 2 plus 1, that gives us 3 right here. Then we do 1 plus 0, and that gives us 1 right here. And finally, for the last row, it'd be 0 plus 1, that gives us a 1 right here. Then 1 plus 3, that gives us a 4 right here. Then 3 plus 3 will give us a 6 right here. 3 plus 1 will give us a 4, and 1 plus 0 will give us a 1. So it's important to see that everything on the left and the right side will always be 1s, because we'll be adding 0 to 1, and then we'll have to compute what's in the middle. Now, as you can see with the input in example 1, input row index equals 3. That means we want to find what is on the third row, right? So we come down 1, 2, 3, or excuse me, since it's 0 index, it'd be 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is row 3, and as you can see, it's the same as our output. 1, 3, 3, 1. Our output is an array of integers, 1, 3, 3, 1, and that's how we got that array of integers, right? Once again, this is 0 index, so it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is the third row. So let's go ahead and look at example 2, where we want index 0. Like I said before, everything on the left and right side will always be 1, and the first row will always be 1, or the zero index row will always be 1 as well. So in example 2, we have the row index equals 0, and we know that will always be 1 in a Pascal's triangle. So the output is 1, 2, right? Boom. So 1 right here. So then we come down here. Let's look at example 3. In example 3, we have the row index equals 1. So that means we want to come to index 1, come to 0, come to index 1, which is right here, and the output is 1 and 1, right? 1 and 1, because 0 plus 1 will give us 1, then 1 plus 0 will give us 1. This is the first row and the 0 index, so the output is 1 and 1. So now that we understand the question, y'all, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution's not that difficult, so let's get into it. Excuse me. Now, the first thing we want to do is we're going to create an array, initialize it with zeros all the way up to a size of row index plus 1. So in order to do that, we could just come right here. We could declare a variable, call it row, set that equal to an array, open up the parentheses, say repeating colon 0. So it's going to be an array of repeating zeros just to start for a default value. Then we're going to say count, and the count is going to be row index plus 1. So it's going to be an array of zeros and it's going to be as many zeros as are in row index plus 1. But that's just the start for a default value. Now we need to the first element of the Pascal's triangle row is always going to be 1. So we could just come right here and we could set row square bracket 0. We could set that equal to 1 because it will always be 1. Now we need a variable to keep track of the current row being processed. Once again, this right here just represents this very first row right here in the Pascal's triangle. But now we need a variable to keep track of the current row being processed. So we could just make a default value of that. We can declare a variable, call it index, and get that a default value of 0. Now we need to loop until we reach the desired row index. So we can say while index is less than or equal to row index, boom, we need to start our for loop so we can compute the values for the current row using the Pascal's triangle property. So we're going to use our for loop. We're going to say for I and 0 dot 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 index divided by 2. Boom. Then we're going to open up the brackets and we're going to say let A equal I is greater than 0. Then we're going to say question mark. Come outside of that, we're going to say question mark. Open up the square, or not yet. Don't open the square brackets yet. We're going to say row. Then open up the square brackets. We're going to say I minus 1. Come outside the square brackets, and we're going to say colon 0. Now, what this is going to do, if I is this right here is going to return a Boolean, true or false. So if I is greater than 0, if that is true, then we're going to return this right here. If it's false, then we're just going to return this 0 right here. And this is going to be the left parent element. Now we need to do the right parent element. So we're going to say let B equal row square bracket I. And that's going to represent the right parent element. Now, the Pascal's triangle rule is row of square bracket I is equal to row square bracket I minus 1 plus row I. So we're going to come right here and we are just going to say row square bracket index minus I, boom, equals A plus B. Boom, just like that. Now, let me just comment the Pascal's triangle rule right here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just pass this in there so y'all can see what the rule is, or the formula triangle. Then we'll say, so it would be row of I equals row square bracket I minus 1 plus row square bracket I. So that's just Pascal's triangle rule. So I figured let y'all see that as well. Boom. So then we are going to come right here. And since Pascal's triangle is symmetric, we're going to copy the first half to the second half. So in order to do that, we can just come right here. We can say for I in 0 dot 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 index divided by 2. We're going to open up the brackets and we're going to say row square bracket I equals, come outside the square bracket, equals row square bracket index minus 1. Or not 1, minus I. Boom. Now we need to move to the next row, so we could just come underneath that. We can increment the index. We can say index plus equals 1. And then finally, we need to return the computer row of the Pascal's triangle. So we could just come underneath this, and all we have to do is say return row. Now, that should be all that she wrote, y'all. Let's go ahead and run it. Let's see, y'all. Let's see. And look at that, y'all. It's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it stays accepted after we submit it. Let's see. And look at that, y'all. It's accepted, y'all. I mean, it's accepted and it's 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users with Swift, y'all. That's what I like to see. Those are the numbers I like to see right there. So with that being said, I hope y'all learned something today. Oh wait, before we go, make sure you get one more look at the code. One more look at the code. That's the top half. That's the bottom half. And with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.